Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All those things we did not get to during the course of the show today.
Welcome and welcome. Boy, do I have a story to tell.
Guys, it's been a day.
Doesn't like the arguing. Betty Rock has been busting my chops for about the last hour.
And rightfully so.
No, you guys have it's just been all day.
He's so tired.
It's not, because I know it's not like real.
It won't be resolved.
It's just
anytime soon.
You know,
it's a lot.
Then it is a lot. And I will admit that if Wally wouldn't do such dumb things.
You'll admit you're sorry? Okay.
That I need to call him out on.
I accept your apology.
I'm not apologizing.
It feels like
If anything, you should apologize.
No, it feels like you're saying you're sorry. And you know what? I accept. Thank you.
So here's what happened.
Thank you very much.
We're in the studio. Something had happened here at the studio. Nothing crazy. But Wally felt very passionate about the decision that had been made by some higher ups. Very passionate about it.
Yes.
And, you know, classic Wally, he's like, this is ridiculous. It's so dumb.
I ranted about my displeasure with the decision.
Yes. And, you know, it wasn't unexpected.
And we've always said that the studio is a safe place. This is where we are allowed to rant. I've always said that this is a place where you can work through stuff without judgment. I've always felt that was the case. Okay. But not necessarily
anyways,
from
let me
Rock.
finish my story.
Okay, go ahead. You're doing
it's
great.
me, Wally, Gavin, and Pastor Chad. So maybe, 30 minutes later, we find out that the decision that had previously made Wally angry has now been
reversed.
Yeah. And so things will be done the way that Wally wanted them to be done to begin with.
Like they should have been done from the beginning. Right.
But they didn't make that decision based solely off of Wally because no one knew that he had a problem with it. Because that was completely
I kept it here in this room
in the studio.
Where it's supposed to be.
Right, exactly, with the four of us.
Vent, yes.
So anyways, word gets to Wally, and Wally is like, "What? Oh, well, we were more than happy to help, but okay."
Yeah.
Thank you. I even hear the cheer in my voice?
Yes.
Do you hear the cheer in my voice? That is dead on how he sounded. And the problem I have is we get one side of Wally in the studio where he's like, "This is ridiculous, so stupid. I can't believe they would make something like that." Then in front of the person that could change the decision, you go, "Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it."
Because here's the thing.
Tell me the thing. Tell me the thing.
The person who made the decision to change it knows nothing about my displeasure earlier. So what am I going to do there? Be ungrateful and be rude?
It's not
Why would
that.
I do that?
It's
Why would I
not
do that?
that.
I just thank them for
If you have a
changing.
problem with the decision that someone has made,
correct.
The right thing to do would be to go to them and voice that opinion in a calm manner.
And had I been given the chance, I probably would have. But
given,
the situation was worked out before I even had a chance to address it. It was handled without me knowing anything about it.
Yes, but for your reaction to be to this person.
Sure.
Oh,
thank you.
Oh,
thank you very much.
You didn't say thank you.
We were more than happy to help.
Exactly.
And I stand by that.
No, you weren't.
I was.
You were not
because it was helping somebody else.
You had a hissy fit.
I did, but that doesn't mean I can't be happy to help to do something right for the other person. I was to do something right for the other person.
You're telling me that if someone comes up and you ask them to help you move, okay, and they come and they're just being all angry and huffy and throwing things around, but at the end they go, we're happy to help.
Well, would
you believe them?
No, because I didn't see them being all huffy. All I saw was, "Oh, we're happy to help." Well, thank you. That's very nice of you.
You're so
see, yeah.
No.
And Betty Rock has charged me with trying to be better at my interpersonal communication with people here, and so
there's still much learning that needs to be done.
But that's what I did.
No.
After the rant.
Yeah, I was gonna say the actual interaction was good though.
Right. It's like what we were supposed to do, what you wanted me to do, right? Or no? Am I supposed to cause drama everywhere?
Should he go?
What you're supposed to do,
I'm confused.
This is what a grown-up does.
Okay, what is
if
it?
you have a problem, then you go to them.
Right.
And you say something.
But let me walk you through this for a second. So a situation arises and I react, okay? The people that are involved with it aren't here, even at the time. So I react to the people that I love. and that I care about immensely. And they understand me, and I can say what I'm thinking, and I can process it out loud.
That's fine.
And so I would hope so. And
everything is fine.
Right.
Up to...
Because you think I'm being hypocritical.
Yes.
Okay, that's your big issue.
To the little pep in your step.
Right.
Tone in your voice when you're like, what? We were more than happy to help.
Absolutely. And I stand by that, though.
Is what I have a problem with.
I stand by I was happy to help.
You can rant all you want in here. You can rant all you want.
Right.
You can say what you want.
Right.
But don't put the little in your voice when you weren't that way.
Well, of course I wasn't that way because I was frustrated by it. But then again,
you could have simply just been like, "Oh, okay, well, thanks."
If the problem had not
moved on.
If the problem had not been solved, here's where it's not hypocritical. Because if the problem had not been solved, and I walked into that discussion and they were talking about it, I would have definitely said exactly what I said in here because I still stand by that. When our big boss, that's bigger than the other people, came in, what did I do? I told him exactly the situation and why I was upset and how we were going to rectify it and how it turned out. I told him with no provocation whatsoever.
Did he do that?
Yeah, I did when Tim came in.
Is not the issue that I'm having.
Right.
You're
say it one more
talking
time.
about a different issue.
Do it one more time. The straight up issue you have
is that you're being hypocritical when you go, oh, well, we were more than happy to help.
Okay, so I should not be nice to the person that solved the problem.
I'm not
I got it.
that.
No, I got it. I understand.
Even though that was a truthful statement.
Right.
No.
I was happy to help.
Do you not like the pep? If he had taken the pep
what
out.
I don't like is that he's in here being all angry the whole time and being like, I can't believe they would make a decision like that. That is so dumb. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh. And then when it's changed and you are like, and they go, oh, well, it's changed for the better, like how you want it.
Right.
Oh, well, we were more than happy. I think I would have been okay with your response being just, oh, okay, thanks.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Okay, so pull up one sentence. So pull up one sentence short. Fine, I understand that. That's called playing the game. But here's what I want. Here's what I think is important to note in this story. None of this, my rant, my frustration, my anger, all of that, none of that benefited me in any way, shape, or form. It had nothing to do with me. It was not something that, I'm going to fight this because it's good for me. The whole time I was angry and indignant for somebody else that I thought was being mistreated, and I wanted to ensure that they were being treated well while other people were not doing that. So, yes, am I a hero? Probably yes. For the underdog and for like a good person that needed to be defended.
You keep
absolutely
defending a thing that is not the problem. No one is questioning that you will take up the cross and bear it for someone else. That you see an injustice. No one is coming against you on that. I agree with you.
Sure.
That's not the issue. The issue is
the kindness. Right, I got
is you being one way towards others,
Right.
but then when you come to the person that actually is the issue, then you go, oh.
See, because the thing is, like,
what is the thing?
Well, the thing is, like, I know this person and I like this person. Yeah. Like, I don't have a problem with this person at all. Yeah. I know this person has a job they have to do and they have parameters.
Kevin's over here yawning.
No.
So this is. I think this is good though because this is how people. No, this is how people
tell us the thing.
Have to deal with their own stuff. And so, like, if Pastor Chad ever offended me, would I be mad and go to Pastor Chad and like read him the riot act? Absolutely not. I'm going to be kind in my response to him because I genuinely like him. Same thing with this other guy. I genuinely like him. So I'm not going to bury a knife in him. I'm not going
asking you to.
I'm not going to be mean or cold.
I'm not asking you to.
Feels like it.
I'm asking you to be authentic.
Yes.
With your response.
Right. And I said, my response was, hey, thanks for doing that. I really do appreciate that.
No, it was
We were happy
not.
to help. That was my response.
No, it wasn't. Make it a little bit higher and a little bit more joyful.
Well, I said, hey, dude, I appreciate you doing that. Thank you. Like, and then I said, and he goes, hey, no problem at all. I said, well, we were happy to help.
No, you sounded like Buddy the Elf. Hi, Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite color? That's how you sounded, and it's not authentic.
Okay, so it's a tone thing. Okay, I got you. I think I got you. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so.
I've lost my will to even be here.
I understand that.
Okay, go on to your story.
Delta was flying. It's gotten to the point now where if something is over a 10-hour drive, then I'll still want to fly. But if it's anything under that, like 8, 9 hours, 10, I would much rather drive than fly. It's just gotten so dicey with
Wait, are you
weather.
saying that if a flight to somewhere is 8 hours?
No, driving. I'm sorry. If driving somewhere is 8 to 10 hours,
okay,
I would rather fly. Because by the time you get to the airport, you go through everything, you have a delay or 2 or 10, and then you get there. It's like I could have just driven and had my own car here. And so it's just so it's so random how badly you can get hosed traveling by air right now. But there were some people on a Delta flight that recently had a nightmare. Passengers were left in the middle of the Atlantic on an island when Delta was forced to land. They were going from Ghana to New York, and they had to divert to a place called Lajes Airport on an island in the Azores. Okay, so they had a mechanical problem, which actually was not affecting the flying of the plane, but what it was a backup system. It wasn't even the main system. It was a backup system of oxygen for the pilots. And when that breaks, it triggers a thing that says you automatically have to land because of safety issues. So they find the closest airport, they divert, and they land there. But what happens is it's not an airport that Delta flies into, so they don't have any ground personnel or anybody to help them. The passengers get left on the plane for hours, no food, no water kind of thing, and they're frustrated. There's no one on the ground to help out. And it's weird because this was... Do you remember when 9/11 hit? This happened to people, and it's the subject of that musical, Come From Away. All these planes landed on this tiny, small island, and people that lived there were taking in people into their homes because there was no other option.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? It's fascinating. That happened because you couldn't land in the United States because we were on such lockdown because of the 9/11 attacks. And so these people had to stay there for days, and this town rallied around them and stuff. And that's kind of what all of a sudden these people were facing, and they were stuck there. And the one thing I'm learning, though, about air travel, is they don't have to tell you anything. And that's, I think, the frustrating thing. I've been in bad situations where they have actually given you information, been honest about the information, and then tried to remotely sound like they felt bad, and you give them so much more grace. We were in a situation where they're like, well, there's weather conditions. My friend is a flight attendant for that company. She was tracking everything that happened on our flight. She goes, it's not weather conditions. They took your plane and went and picked up crew in another city to fly them in. Do not let them tell you it's weather, and you are within your rights to get a hotel and all this other stuff.
Because if it's weather related, they aren't.
Correct. They don't have to do it.
Take it.
And so they just lie to you and go, oh, it's weather. It's weather related. And so it was funny because when we were at the counter and my wife goes, well, okay, so just so you know, and she was very polite. She goes, I know this wasn't weather. I know it was this, where they flew to, who they picked up and stuff. And the lady instantly goes, well, let's get you a hotel, and it was you shouldn't have to do that. And that's why people are losing trust and faith in the different airlines. I was on one flight where they kept telling me, oh, we're working on it. We'll get it. It's going to be half an hour. Oh, it's going to be an hour. Oh, it's going to be an hour and a half. And it just kept changing. And finally, one of the flight attendants came up to me and she goes, you need to get off this plane. You're not going to make your connection, and you're not going to get to, because we were going, this was 2 years ago when we were going to out of the country for another cruise. And so thankfully she said that, and we were able to go get off the plane, get rebooked, and we got there. But it's they do so much more damage by trying to run the shell game on people than they do by treating them well, And it's you would earn so much more credibility by treating people well.
Let me ask you a question, a hypothetical question. Let's say you need to go somewhere and it's going to take you 11 hours to get there.
Okay, that's my trip to Florida. Yeah, that's my trip to Florida.
But you got to take that drive did you say 11 hours and over you would have to fly?
Yeah, usually that's
What's your cutoff with driving?
11 is the max.
Okay, I want to say 12. Okay. It's a 12-hour drive, okay?
Yes.
But in the car, you have to ride with someone that drives you crazy. Imagine that person. You don't have to tell me who it is. It better not be me.
I'm looking at it.
I wouldn't even consider getting in that car.
That's a long day.
But would you do it? No. Let's say it's 9 hours. My apologies.
Okay, got you. 9-hour drive with someone you don't care for.
Yep.
Would I do that? No. I'm thinking
Then you would
6 hour drive?
You would take
6, I would take the chance with the car.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, 6, I would take the. Well,
you have to get shorter.
I know you can't use names, but I know we're thinking of the same people, so no, I would fly.
Well, no,
and
no.
I
Tackle. Well, if you're going to drive, and it's got to be one of those people that you don't care for, say, hey, we're going. And this, might stink for you, but you're like, hey, we're going. We're leaving at 9 p.m. We're driving through the night.
Right.
And then they just take a nap, hopefully. And then you get there.
You put on earbuds and you just listen to podcasts
you're
or
like,
something.
I don't talk on drives. It's going to be
I don't know. I
3
probably
hours. And it's with 2 people you cannot deal with.
that are awake and want to talk.
And one,
3 hours, all you can do that, yeah.
but one of them is having some IBS issues.
Sure.
I'm there.
Gavin's there.
Gavin's there. And the other one is a talker.
Okay, yeah.
3 hours.
3 hours, I'll put up with it. Yeah.
Really?
3 hours, I'll put up with it. But like in your other scenario, I was thinking about it, like 8 hours with some of the people that I know you and I are both thinking of. I would actually go to the airport and I'd be like, I want to get on any flight. Don't care what it is. I don't care if all the bolts are tightened, all the nuts are tightened.
I don't care if it's even going to my destination or not.
And I don't even care if it has enough gas to get there. If we're going to glide the last mile, that's fine. I would rather do that. Absolutely.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
What do you got, Rob?
Yeah, let me get through this because we've got a call at in 13 minutes. So let me get through this.
All right.
Okay, this is a big deal. Well, it's a big deal for me and Wally. For Gavin, he's like, who? Hollow Notes? Never heard of them.
It's always going to be Hollow Notes.
But you know the band Hollow Notes.
Yes.
You make my dreams come true.
Oh, and now how about this one?
It's one and then 2 claps.
Is it really? Wait, let's hear that again. Hold on. Is that right?
We're going to get taken down.
I know. I want to see if it's right, though.
It's 1 and then 2. 1, 2.
I've had it wrong my whole life. You're absolutely right.
Anyways, all of these songs may have never been a thing if it hadn't been for gun violence.
Whoa,
that's weird.
Craziness, yeah. So they were each part, so Daryl Hall and John Oates were each part of different doo-wop groups. They were part of doo-wop groups.
That's so funny.
But they didn't know each other at the time. And in 1967, both of their bands...
67? That was a year before I was born.
They've been around for a while.
Wait a minute. So so I'm 55. So they're
in their 60s?
They would have been at least teenagers. They got to be in their 70s. They were 19. Oh, my glory.
So in 1967, both of their doo-wop bands were invited to perform at a dance event promoted by a local DJ. But before the show could start, a fight broke out in the audience between 2 rival gangs.
What?
And shots were fired.
In 67?
In 1967.
That's a headline you expect to hear today. So I guess we've always had gun violence.
So the bands, Daryl Hall and John Oates, they cram into a service elevator to escape. And that there, my friends, is where Hall and Oates began.
That's crazy. Hey, nice mustache, bro. Thanks. Nice wavy hair, pal. And then they realized they were inseparable.
They realized a few weeks later, Oates' group had broken up after 2 members got drafted for the Vietnam War.
Oh, gee.
And they got together and started creating music.
That's horrible. How did he not get... Oh, he's tiny. He was too small. John Oates. John Oates. I think he's 4'1".
No, he's not.
He's tiny. He probably was not tall enough to get drafted.
Oates.
He couldn't see over the
He's
airplane.
75, and Daryl Hall is 76.
That is
5'4". Oh, he is small though.
Yeah, he is little.
5'4", that's you.
No, it's not. I'm taller than that.
It's not.
No, and then John Oates is taller. He's probably 5'8", maybe. He might even be taller than that.
6'1".
6'1", okay.
Ooh,
I was going to say 6, but then I thought, no, that would look too weird. So they must have always shot them placed differently.
Yeah, maybe John Oates was standing on a box.
Probably.
You know how that feels.
I know how that feels. Had to do that for a movie before. By the way, I can only imagine.
No. Okay.
Still out on video.
Only have a few minutes. Let me do my birthday shout outs. We've got Allie who wants to wish Jean a happy birthday, saying she's my grandmother, but I call her Nana or Nana. Not sure. But she said she is the glue to our family. Happy birthday, Jean, a.k.a. Nana or Nana. Okay. Andrew has a question for you, Wally.
Okay.
If Wally was God, only of Retribution for a day.
Of Retribution?
Oh, that'd be a great job.
What are the top 10 list of people, things, issues to suffer his wrath?
Oh my goodness. Where do we start?
Okay, I know what would get on that list. The lady that blocked you out of here with 100%. Her makeup.
She's smitten.
Yeah. The barbecue guy.
Yep. In Blue Ridge, Georgia. Absolutely.
Yep. The guy that cut you off in the line on Sunday recently.
He's a new addition to the list. And so
now you're down to 7 more people
he might
that can
be an
make
alternate.
that list.
Yeah, he might be an alternate.
Well, it says issues, things.
Like, honestly, like all this trans nonsense.
Okay.
Like, that sends me through the roof. Like, people just making up stuff and everybody having
we have to believe it.
And everybody having to kowtow to it and go,
okay.
I'm going, like, there was a lady that was like, my son thinks he's a cat and I took him to the vet and the vet wouldn't treat him. And it's kind of discrimination, but I kind of get like, no, it's not kind of discrimination. He's a vet and you have a kid. And she's like, but what am I supposed to do? Tell him he's not a cat, dummy. Like, oh my goodness gracious. That gets me.
That was hot on on the list.
That one gets me.
6.
Boy. I'm trying to think of what else would be.
I'll tell you what it is.
What?
Food prices these days.
Yes.
Your $7 hot dog from Five Guys.
That's a good one. You know my rants more than me.
Down to 5.
That's a good
what
one.
What about the Kohl's cashier that was like,
I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at Kohl's.
Oh, we're down to 4.
TJ Maxx pretending that you are something great when you're not and you charge too much money for your prices.
Down to 3. Use them wisely.
I know. There was one that made me think of it when you were talking. Oh, shoot. What was it?
Oh.
Not Democrats.
No.
Flight delays?
Socialism. Oh, airlines. Absolutely.
Yeah, airlines get it.
2.
Socialism.
Yeah. Like how far left we've become that it's become acceptable or that people, all that nonsense. Oh, shoot. What was it? There was something I'm like, oh, yeah.
What about your neighbor that never thanked you for mowing his lawn?
Oh, you know what's funny? I mowed it again another time just to be nice, and he texted me, and he was like, "Did you mow my lawn?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did. I know it was a hot summer, and you're out there like pushing a mower." And it's just as he's like, "Man, thank you." So that was good. So maybe.
Do you hear the pep in his step when he acted like his neighbor, saying, "Hey, did you mow my lawn?"
Yeah,
it's kind of like that's the kind of pep he had
back
earlier.
To that, yeah.
When he was like, "What?
It's weird.
We didn't mind helping."
Betty just made my list.
That's fine. Now you're down to 1.
Down to 1. One last thing.
One last thing. Think about TV shows, food.
Yeah, like the whole like minimum wage being $25 in California and things like that, and like that fight over that, because it's just causing all the other prices to skyrocket with that. So inflation is driving me crazy. Bidenomics is driving me nuts.
I love how all 10 things are for you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Starving people.
I hate that, but I can't do anything about it.
You're the god of retribution, so I don't know.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Okay. So I'll take out a few warlords. Absolutely.
Oh, like there
people
you go.
That commit. Yeah, people that commit crimes against humanity. Yeah, it's a good one. That'd be a good.
But that's your 11th, and you already used 10.
Nuts.
And one of them was for Five Guys hot dogs.
Yeah. The reality is,
I'm
at least going to have a better day.
Dunkin'.
Oh, the Dunkin' near us. Yeah, that one specific store. Yeah, that's a good one too. When you put it all like that, it does make me think how trivial some of my issues are. Yeah, it does. It does. It's causing me to have a little introspective moment.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I wish you'd been able to be a good friend and help me with this over all these years.
Oh my gosh!
What?
Shut your mouth.
Who was it that asked the question?
Andrew?
Andrew, thank you. Thank you for helping me look inside a little bit and become a better person today. It'd be nice to have people like that in my life, but I don't.
All right. And as always, thanks for being a party. Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.